Many people believe that being successful in business and investing and in real estate is all about saying yes and taking action and doing more deals. But I found that the real power and the real strength in learning how to invest properly, learning how to grow a business, learning how to buy real estate is actually saying no. You're going to get so many opportunities to invest in different type of things. And if you're saying yes to everything, you're putting yourself in a position where you're spreading yourself thin, best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you're investing in a lot of different people, in a lot of different assets, and a lot of different variations, and you do not have the capabilities to understand fully what you're investing in across the board. So I actually believe that saying no is a superpower that more people need to tap into, and I'm victim myself. So for those who don't know, my name is Devon Kennard. I've been investing in real estate for the last 11 years. I built a portfolio of over 40 single family properties. I now own 30, and I'm actually looking to sell and consolidate some of those. I've also invested in over 50 syndications. I'm currently still in about 40 of those. And then I have my own private lending company where I've lent $12.5 million over the last 2 years. So I've dabbled in a lot of things. And what I can tell you in doing that is now I am actually reverting back and saying no to more deals. So deals that I did 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I will no longer do because I have more tunnel vision. I know my scope of expertise, and I'm really niching down on something that I truly understand. So while I was playing in the NFL, I was diversifying. I was like, okay, I need to diversify and do all these things. And I'm not saying that's completely wrong because it served its purpose for me. But now I'm in a place, and after all the experience I've gained, I'm like, I want to say no more often. If you're saying yes to every deal that comes across your desk, then you are likely getting into bad deals. You're not evaluating. You don't have a tight enough scope of work of what you believe is a good deal. And we call that buy box in real estate. Like, you got to have your buy box of what you're willing to buy. And if you're accepting every single deal, then you're most likely in a position where you don't have a tight enough buy box, or you think that there's not enough opportunities that are going to come to you. So when an opportunity does come, you're going to take it. Now, I fell victim to that about 2.5 years ago. There was a guy who was a syndicator, and he was doing deals out in the Phoenix area, multifamily properties. I knew a few people who had invested with him, and I'm like, you know what? This looks like a good opportunity. But the thing is, there were a couple of red flags. One, that the price he wanted to go for rents once renovated seemed very high. And at the time, I already knew that I felt like personally things were going to stabilize in the rental market. But he really wowed me with how nice he's going to make these apartment complexes, et cetera, et cetera. Number two red flag was he didn't jive with me completely. He had a little bit of an arrogance to him that I didn't completely connect to. But you know what? I was like, man, that's just his personality. He's made a ton of money for people. I'm going to ignore that. Then the third was the debt structure was not very solid. He had a cap on the cap rate, but it was only for a certain amount of time. Like, there wasn't a lot of flexibility if things started to turn on him interest rate wise. But once again, I trusted on his expertise. I saw all the times he made money for people. So I decided to invest in the deal mostly because of FOMO. I liked that it was a syndication deal that was based in Phoenix. That's where I'm located. So I was like, oh, it's cool. I went to the property. I got to see the plans. Oh, I'm like, it's going to be awesome that I could drive by it. I can go check it out. So I got enamored by that. I got enamored by his returns on some of his other projects, which hindsight 2020, looking back, a lot of people were having success over the last decade, and you didn't have to be a good operator at the time. So that's realizing that now, it's like, man, I was impressed by something that I shouldn't have been. So I fell victim to saying yes to too much. And by doing that, I put myself in a position where now I have a set amount of money in that deal, and there's a good chance that we're going to end up turning in the keys, and I'm not going to get my capital back. Now, I look at my portfolio overall. I'm pissed about it. I'm going to lose $100,000 on that deal. But I look at all the money I've made, all the money I'm projected to make across my portfolio, And I just got to take that L to the chin. It is what it is, but it's a hard lesson that I'm seeing now. And like, man, I did not have a tight enough buy box. I was not getting enough deal flow at the time. So a deal like that came along and I felt obligated that I needed to do it. I had FOMO that I didn't want to be the one to miss out when he's had all these returns, when the fundamentals of the deal was not something that I would have agreed on from the OnStar. So my challenge to you is to recognize that saying no is a superpower. When you say no, you're also saying yes to something else that's within the buy box of expertise that you personally have. So learn from my mistakes. Don't make a $100,000 mistake like I did. Really tighten up your buy box and stick to things that you have a good understanding of, that you fully understand and are capable of executing on yourself, or trust who is executing on it, and just tighten it up, man. Say no more often. You should be saying no to deals more often than yes. And if that's not the case, your buy box is not tight enough. So I hope this video really helps you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to dive into more things like this on real life, what's going on in my investment portfolio, in my businesses. And I hope that we can continue to grow together. I'll be back soon.